Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the channel. Chris Dennis here, putting specialist and short game performance coach. So similar to last Friday, we're going to do some course management today. We are here on the second hole today at Waterfront, and I do apologise if there's any wind noise. I am still waiting on a new microphone, so there might be a little bit of background noise. But the second hole here at Waterfront is a par 5, so I want to talk through today how I would play it, and again what I'd like to see amateurs do and how you can save some shots. So obviously I had some comments last week. Again, great comments about maybe hitting a hybrid off the tee or hitting a 3-wood. So for amateurs, what I see a lot of times is they go to clubs that they're obviously more comfortable with, but we want to get comfortable with a driver, because obviously if the further we can hit that, even if it's a little bit offline, the closer we are to the hole, the easier it is for you to get on the green and make it easier as a general rule. So today, obviously here at Waterfront, par 5, like I say, and what I see a lot of amateurs do on here is come up, tee up there. A lot of them have a slice or have a fade, and we start to get your feet aiming straight into the trees because we're worried about the ball curving to the right and going onto the trees on the right. So for that, what I want to go through, and as you'll probably realise throughout this, I have forgot my golf shoes, which is a classic. Last week was the putter, this week's the shoes. I mean, hopefully next week we'll get it right. So when I'm aiming the ball here, we can see I want to use the tee to my advantage. So like last time, I wanted to go to the right side of the tee box, so I had a little bit more room to aim down the left, because I normally play that little cut, and it did, as we saw, it ended up on the right hand side of the first hole. So the same here. The bunker on the right I can reach. For most amateurs you can't. That's at around about 260 yards. So that's something I've got to think. Do I want to lay it up short, or do I want to try and hit that pass? So for me, I would be trying to hit that pass. If you're somebody who hits it that range, it's one of those. It's a little bit of risk and reward. But if you're in there, you'll be able to get out and you'll still be able to reach the green. So you're not going to lose that many shots. Whereas if you hit a 3-wood, you might be 40 yards short of that, then you've got a long way in, and then you've got a lot more decisions to make. If you're again a 28 handicapper or a higher handicap, mid handicapper even, and you're hitting it around about 200 to 240 yards with a driver's your club. We're not going to reach there. It's going to get us far enough down there that I don't have to put added pressure on my second shot. So I would come in again. Tee up on the right hand side. I'm now going to try and start this just left of the red tee marker, and hopefully it fades back. If it overfades, I might be flirting with the bunker, but if not, hopefully I might get it past. We've got a lot of wind today. Like I said at the start of the video, it's very windy out here today. It is into and slightly off the left. A lot of times that's a big red flag for amateurs. They start to panic, well, I've got to aim more left for the wind. If we start to aim more left, we start to open the face more to the path, and we start to see even bigger slices and start to worry about going onto the trees on the right. Let's start to get our aim consistent. If I'm aiming over the reds and it fades slightly, I'm going to be up the right hand side. You'll start to see the more you can aim square, the less fade you will see. Because obviously what you're doing by aiming further left and keeping the face there, we're making a bigger difference between our path and the face. The bigger difference between the path and the face, the harder it is for us to control that flight, and the more it's going to curve. So, in here now, I'm going to do my practice swings. I should start to see that I want to get to a balanced finish. Good, so a balanced finish there. I actually drew that ball, but because I started it over the reds, it's now going to be on the left hand side. So although it's not the shape I expected, because I've aimed correctly, even if I get one turning the opposite way, it's still going to be fine. It's in the rough. We've got a shot to the green. So let's have a look, let's get up there, let's see how far I've got to the green, and what I would suggest for amateurs. Okay, so you'll see here guys that obviously I didn't actually catch that drive as well as I hoped. It turned over a little bit, but I'm in the rough as I said, but you'll see I'm actually short of the bunker, so I've only hit that 240 off the tee, but it's not been too wayward. Even in the wind, it's got me down here and with a shot. So as you'll see from the flyover now, closer to the green, you'll see that there are 3 big bunkers. So one at a roundabout leaves us about a 70-yard shot, one that's 50, and then one that's green side. So even as a pro, the shot that I find the hardest, the one I want to avoid more than anything, is the mid-range bunker shot. So obviously looking at this now, I've got 240 yards to the green. It's very narrow at the green, as you can see. It all falls off to the left of the green. You'll lose your ball. On the right makes a very hard chip shot to a pin that is at the back and on the right hand side of the green. So too many times from here I see amateurs go straight to the 3-wood, straight to the hybrid, try and get it as far down as possible, but that's bringing the bunkers into play. So the bunkers are the thing that we're trying to take out here. I know I obviously on the tee I said we always want to get it as close to the green as possible, but the danger here is closer to the green. So if I can leave a shot that leaves me around about 100 yards and I'm in the fairway, that's going to be more consistent that I can hit the green than if I go into one of those bunkers. If I go in one of those bunkers, I might hit it into the next, I might thin it out, I might bring in a high score, so I might bring in a double. So to the bunkers I've got around about 150 yards, which for myself into this wind is probably a 9-iron or an 8-iron. Just like when we talk about short game, the bigger motion and the more full shots I hit, there's more that can go wrong. So a shot you probably won't see from most people, and one that you don't think, is here I'm going to go up to a 6-iron and I'm going to pretty much play it like a chip shot. It's going to be nice and smooth, I'm going to be a little bit closer, and I'm really just going to get that ball working forwards and working towards the green. So it's sat down in the rough, so I'm a little bit closer like you can see now. That's really the swing I'm going to make. I'm not going to try a full swing and put a lot of effort into that. The ball's a little bit back in my stance, and it's going to be an extended chip shot. So I've kept it left, I've kept it low so it's out of the wind. The wind's not going to affect that, and I've been able to get that down, probably in line with the first bunker that you've seen there on the flyover. So now what I've done is I've opened up the flag. I've now got a shot with a wedge that I can flight in there, hit the middle of the green and try and get out there, maybe with a birdie, but I'm just trying to get a par. So I'm simplifying the hole, trying to make it as easy as possible, especially in these windy conditions, going away from full swings if I can, keeping my balance and keeping it under the wind. Perfect, so I've just got up to the ball now, so you'll see that we're exactly in line with that first trap. So I've left myself with a pin being at the back. I've got 115 yards to the flag. If I zoom in there now, we can see that it's on the right hand side. It's a white flag, so we know it's at the back, but we can also see that if I go straight at the flag, I'm going to have to go over a bunker. So the play here, even as a pro, I would be looking at middle of the green, so I'd be going left of the flag. So it's a nice controlled pitching wedge for me from here. So the stance is a little bit narrower like we've talked with pitching. Again, I'm going to try and keep my speed nice and smooth, let the club do the work. So the swing of the club's going to create the speed, not me trying to hit it. Also, by hitting it to the middle of the green, I'm going to ensure that I'm on the green and I've got a chance at 2-putting. Hopefully we get inside 30 feet. Tour average from this distance is going to be around about 25 feet. So if I'm inside that, I've done a really good job. If I'm middle of the green, I've ticked a box. It's a tough hole today into this wind, and I'm getting out of there as quick as possible. So a couple of practice swings. Feeling the tempo. So I see a lot of people, a lot of amateurs from here, they go straight to the club, they hit exactly 115, it balloons up into the air and nearly comes back on itself. So even if from 115 yards you're hitting an 8 or a 9 iron, take the 8 iron or take the 7 iron if you have to. Always go a club up. If we can swing it smoother, I can control that flight, especially in the wind. We can keep it down and we can keep it direct. So ball still in the front of my stance, so just in front of centre, weights left, a little bit taller. I'm going to keep that speed on the way through. Good, so a good flight, a little bit knocked down with the pitching wedge. I think it might be just past the pin, but I've had a good strike, I've committed to that shot and got it going straight at the middle of the green. I've not thought about the flag, I've just thought get on that green, give myself an outside chance, get out of here. Tough hole today, long hole. If we can get on there and get out with a par, I'm doing very well. So obviously the shot that I hit with a 6-iron, we've got to think now, I've hit a decent drive, not as far as I thought. I then chipped a 6-iron down there, and then I've hit a half field with a pitching wedge. So I've made it as easy as possible for me without thinking I've got to hit a 3-wood. I'm bringing a lot of problems. I've avoided the areas, so I'm thinking about the areas I don't want to leave myself. So the big no-no on this hole for me is the bunkers. That's the area I want to avoid. Even for you, I'm sure you'll want to avoid those as well, because that can make your scores quickly go very high. So I've thought my way down here. I've made it look quite easy possibly, but even as an amateur, even as a mid-handicapper, you can start to plot your way round and think not every shot has to be a full shot. Like I said, you might, where I've hit the 6-iron and chipped it, you might chip your hybrid down here and just hit a half a swing and just control it, even if it goes this high off the ground. Like they always say, there's no pictures on a scorecard, but we can start to manage yourself better, guarantee that we're in the fairway, guarantee I've got the easiest shot into the green. If I was to hit a full shot and the wind hit it and it ended up over there in the rough, there I've got to carry the ball all the way over the bunker. And as an amateur, I know a lot of amateurs that I have for lessons who won't want to see, I've got to hit all the way over the bunker. I've got to hit it a long way. If I catch this a bit heavy, I'm in the bunker. You know, they start to give themselves a lot of pressure. If I'm here, I can see the green nice and clearly. I can set my target. I can pick a good area that I hit that avoids the trouble. So let's get up. Let's see if I can have an outside chance at a birdie or get out with a par. The good news is, I know I forgot my golf shoes, but I do have my putter this week. So it did carry a little bit further than I thought, so it has come right to the back of the green, nearly on the fringe, but you can see I've left myself around about 25 feet, which I would say, well I know, is tour average. So it's a pretty good shot. Into that wind, I've hit a good shot on there, but even if for yourself you'd have hit the middle of the green, left yourself anything inside 40 feet, you've done a good job. So you've chosen the right club, you've aimed at the right area, and you've taken all the trouble out of play. So obviously taking the bunkers out, taking the left side where it runs away into the bushes, taking out long where it's thick rough, and again you'd be short-sided. So we're starting to eliminate all the problem areas so we can have the right shot in our head, pick the right club and execute the shot. So just like short game, assess the lie, pick the landing zone and then choose the club. Very much similar there. Think about where your problem areas are, where you don't want to be. Pick the club that's going to be a lot more direct, something that you'd be confident in, and if we can make a shorter motion, we can guarantee a little bit more what that club face is going to be doing at impact. So let me read this putt now, go through my normal process, and let's see if we can hole it. So I've got that as a 1 coming from right to left. So even when I'm just playing and I'm just having a knock, I'm still going to go through my green reading process, make sure that's consistent, make sure I'm comfortable doing it. When we then go into a tournament, it's a lot easier for me to repeat. So the wind here is slightly downwind. That's not going to have much effect on the putt. I wouldn't say it's strong enough to have an effect. We're looking at over 30-40 miles an hour for it to have an effect on there. So a couple of practice swings. Very close. So I started that right, it moved a little bit to the left, and then actually at the hole it started to work back, so it was actually a little bit of a double breaker. But that's gone to a foot, I'm going to give myself that. So a relatively easy par today on a tough hole that's playing straight downwind, something that amateurs and even when I was playing and even pros now start to worry, maybe start to swing it harder. I'm not going to say the classic line of where everyone says, oh, just swing it smooth in the wind. No, we want to swing in balance. So we want to keep as much speed as you've got, but we want to be in balance at our finish. So if we're still in our finish position, and we can make it nice and easy, we're going to get good contact, we're going to get that ball coming out direct, we're not going to get it popping and curving away from, well, in any direction. So keep the tempo that you've got, but make sure you're in balance, and then really think about the areas that you're trying to avoid. So start to think about, right, I don't want to be in that bunker, that could cost me more shots. Or, for example, the fairway bunker here, even if I went in the fairway bunker, it would be fine because I'd still be able to knock that out. I've got plenty of area to work with, and then I'd still been able to reach the green. But the problem was around the green. I've avoided that. I've chosen the right club. Obviously, with that little 6-iron, I chipped down the fairway. It wasn't a pretty shot, but it's done the job and it's effective. So if we can make it a lot easier for yourself, start you to get you thinking about these different shots, chipping a hybrid, chipping a 6-iron instead of hitting a full 8-iron, there's a lot less that can go wrong. We can control that a lot more, and hopefully get you making easier pars, or even if you're a handicap golfer, making easy bogeys and starting to get that handicap down. Guys, thanks for watching. Monday, as you'll be aware, if you're coming over from James Robinson's channel, we're doing a big giveaway on Monday, so I'm giving away an Odyssey putter. And if you're watching today, you will be the first to know that it is a number 10. So it is going to be the spider looking Odyssey number 10 Stroke Lab. I will be giving that away on Monday. So watch out for Monday's video. I'm going to be talking you through what to expect from a putting lesson. Guys, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday for the giveaway.